pages going, you can do that. They're not labeled, so my recommendation is if you're going to have more than one blank page going at a time, that you number them, or use letters, or however you want to designate them, but you have some way of identifying them. So if I call this page 1, I hit previous again to get to my next blank page. I'll get rid of that dinging sound, sorry. And then I use the arrow keys to go back and forth. Okay. So it's really nice to have, again, if, as you're projecting different things, that projected image is changing constantly. So it's really nice that you can keep a running list or several running lists going as you continue to use the board. Okay. So what I was trying to figure out, I mentioned that when you hit the little diskette to save something you've written, a little message should pop up letting you know that it's saved. So all these annotations that you're doing, whether you're annotating over something you're projecting or whether you're just bringing up a blank whiteboard for notes, those can each be saved. So I will figure out why that message isn't popping up. Yeah?
If you're annotating over something, does it save it as kind of a screenshot so you can see what was being projected and your notes at the
That's exactly the way it works. Right, exactly. It's exactly like doing a screenshot. So yeah. So if I save this, and so by default, it's saving it as a JPEG. It could also be saved as a PDF or other graphic file type. What we see people use typically is either a JPEG or a PDF. And how you might choose one versus another is if you think about what would you do with those files after the fact. And would it be easier to work with them as JPEGs or PDFs? So at this point it's JPEG, that's the way we left it after the first session, so that's, I'm assuming, how we'll leave it here today. But just keep that in mind that, as you guys start to really use these boards, there may be some things that you think, after you've been using it a little while, you might say, gee, maybe it's really better if it's a PDF. So that can be changed. So just some of these things, just keep in mind that it's possible to change, and at some point you need to. That's easy to do. So I just browse to the, so they're, by default, they're saved in the My Documents folder. So if you want to review them, I'm just going to browse to My Documents and list. Details. So these are the files that I've saved so far. So the start of each file name is Polyvision, and immediately following that is the date and time that they were saved, which is something they added recently, which I think was a really good addition, because you guys, after the fact, are going to pull those captures that you did during your class and save them to your own drive or save them to a flash drive or whatever you're going to do. This will help you figure out which files were yours. So now if you want to review them during class, you just double click on it. Let's just say that's a bad example. And now I'm just obviously using Windows Explorer here, so I can go, I can sort of scroll through them if you need to. Okay, so when you press save on the control strip, it saves as a JPEG using this file format in the My Documents folder.